I bought this Tommi Makinen Evo from a mate in Sydney who got hit from behind and pushed into the car in front. He didn't have the time to repair it, so I took on the challenge of saving this Evo. Unfortunately, while the Evo was in storage, it sustained some extra damage to the rear door, quarter panel, windscreen and turret. It looks like it's been hit by a forklift hind. We loaded the Evo on a trailer and brought it home to check it out thoroughly. The rear bar and boot took most of the crash impact, and behind the bar, the Beaver Panel was squashed too. The hood is damaged and it's aluminium, so that's too hard for me to fix with my current lack of skills, and the front bar has been pushed into the upper radiator support panel, so that needs to be replaced too. The metal is probably high strength steel, so it's not worth trying to straighten it out, as long as I can buy new radiator support panel parts. The engine bay is dirty and has non-factory parts, so I'll replace all of them with new OEM parts. The radiator has been punctured by the dump pipe, and there's lots of other broken or faded parts in this area too. The front end doesn't look too intimidating, so I'll start dismantling that first and researching part numbers to see which new parts are still available. Then, after getting some experience repairing the front, I'll be more confident continuing on the rear of the Evo. I used various spot weld removal tools to remove the upper radiator support, the headlight supports, and intercooler vertical stay. To replace just the bare minimum, I ordered the individual parts that make up the radiator support assembly and clamped all the pieces in place to check the fitment, and then I compared the engine bay dimensions with another Tommi Makinen Evo using a Dremel gauge. Then I removed them all again and sprayed them with red tinted epoxy primer. And after they'd dried, I clamped them back on the car, checked with the Dremel gauge again, and prepared for welding. And after I welded it and ground it flat, I sanded it smooth and applied some more red tinted epoxy primer. Then, to match the factory colour scheme in the engine bay, I used a solid 2K paint with a matting agent, colour number AC10795, on all of the engine bay and the upper areas of the radiator support panel. Then from the headlight support panels down, I used body colour code R71, solid colour red, using the clear over base method. It seems a bit strange the engine bay red was a different colour and a low gloss finish compared to the rest of the car, but that's exactly the way Mitsubishi built them in the factory. I continued to strip down the engine bay and motor so I could repaint it all. I wanted everything to be new, or at least look like it. I scrubbed down the engine block with Pour 15 degreaser and painted it with engine enamel and a foam brush to minimise brush strokes. And it came up really nice. I did the timing belt service and removed most things from the engine bay so I could tidy up the wiring harness with 3M Scotch 33 electrical tape. It's great stuff to use as it sticks well even on cold days. I ordered thousands of new OEM parts, but when things weren't available new, I had to replate the old parts in gold or silver passivated zinc. I think the silver coloured zinc plating ages better, but its main benefit is that it matches all the new Mitsubishi parts that are now only available in the silver colour. While doing the timing belt, I replaced all the pulleys, water pump and timing belt covers. But before the upper timing belt cover goes on, I can finally install the brand new OEM valve cover. And I fitted a new aux belt and tensioner. I kept installing the engine bay replacement parts and fitted some new sensors and relays. And I must say, the engine bay is coming along very nicely. I fitted a brand new OEM intercooler and hoses and repainted all the intercooler pipes with a satin black. I restored the radiator shroud by cleaning it and painted it with a satin black industrial 2K paint and replaced the motor fan controller and attached it to a new Rad OEM replacement radiator. I painted the air intake MAP sensor assembly and basically replaced or restored everything that went back in the engine bay. The windscreen and turret. I cut out the broken windscreen, repaired the dent on the turret and resprayed it, and I had a new windscreen professionally installed. The front end mechanicals. As the days were getting colder, I focused on mechanical restoration to the front end. So I removed the front brakes, driveshaft struts, hubs, control arms and transfer case so I could restore them all and have good access to the inner guards, which were dirty and faded. I then removed the north-south bar and front crossmember to get them powder-coated satin black, along with the front and rear sway bars. Then I masked up the inner guards and freshened up the black areas to match the OEM factory paint pattern with the satin black epoxy. The control arms. I cleaned up the alloy suspension arms with kerosene and superfine steel wool, followed by white spirit or terps. but the finish wasn't quite good enough, so I sandblasted them with fine garnet media, and I replaced some bushes, ball joints and tie rod ends, and reinstalled them and the freshly painted hubs back on the car. I dismantled the struts and scuffed them up with red Scotch-Brite and painted them with a Director Metal 2K satin black paint. I replaced the bump stops and reassembled the struts and applied new decals. The front brakes. I dismantled the Brembo brakes and restored them, and made a very detailed video about that process, which you can find here on my channel. And I'll put a link to that video in the description too. The rear door and quarter panel. My left rear door was beyond repair, so I got a white Evo VI door from a friend and bolted it on the car so I could repair the quarter panel and get the gaps right. It was hard to access the back of the panel, but I got it straight in the end and did some hot shrinking to strengthen the panel so it couldn't buckle inwards. Then I applied a thin layer of filler, then tinted high fill primer and block sanded it flat. The Beaver Panel. I bought a new Beaver Panel and scuffed it up and painted it with red tinted epoxy primer. Then I straightened the spare wheel well and unpicked the old Beaver Panel. I replaced the right side taillights around too, as it was a bit buckled. Then I used Cleco clips to hold the new one in place. I checked the gaps with the trunk lid in place and also checked the trunk latch. Then after comparing its position with another Evo VI, I spot welded it on with my MIG welder. I cleaned it up, ground down the welds and applied more epoxy primer. Then I applied seam sealer and tried to replicate the factory look. And before the seam sealer was fully dry, I painted it with Transtar 2-in-1 red oxide primer, followed by red base coat and air dry clear. The rear floor restoration. Then underneath the car, I removed everything mechanical and spent the next month on my back removing dirt, paint and surface rust. The factory paint is very thin underneath the car, so I'll use various wire wheels and prep discs to get it back to bare metal so I can coat it with epoxy primer, then clear over base R71 body colour red. Which is not technically correct for this OEM build, but to me it looks better, and it will give much better protection compared to the thin factory paint. The fuel tank. The fuel tank wasn't perfect inside, but I cleaned it up as much as I could and hope that will be enough. If you look at my recent fuel pump video, you'll see how wrong I was. But I masked up the openings, scuffed it with red Scotch-Brite, I removed the rubber pads from the top of the tank, and I'll make some new ones to replace them after it's painted. I'm using Valspar Director Metal Semi-Gloss. I downloaded the technical data sheet from Valspar and stuck it on the wall. It's got all I need to know about mixing ratios, gun setup and drying times. It's in the paint room now and I've cleaned it with wax and grease remover, and I use a tack rag to remove dust. I set the gun pressure and spray a half coat, wait 5 minutes for it to flash off, then I spray a full coat. I've allowed the tank to dry for a few days, and now it's a really nice smooth satin black finish. So now it's time to flip it over and prepare the underside for painting. I'm checking now that I haven't missed any areas. Even though it looks glossy now, it'll dry to a really nice smooth satin black finish. And after the paint had dried, I made some new rubber pads for the top of the tank. And put the tank back on the car. Trunk lid or boot lid. And as my boot lid was badly damaged, another mate of mine gave me his spare to use. It had a couple of cracks on the inside of it, as they often do, so I welded them up and painted it with a red tinted epoxy primer. I made a detailed video on that job too, including the restoration and painting of the rear wing, and I'll put a link to that video in the video description below. The front fenders, front guards, or front wings. With the weather warming up, I started painting the fenders and doors. I removed all the doors and dismantled them in preparation for new paint. And while they were off, I prepped and painted the door apertures. And then I bolted the bare doors back on the car. Reassembling doors is not too bad if you follow your notes when you dismantle them. I replaced the exterior door handles, latch linkages, locks, glass, window slides, seals, belt mouldings, window regulators, wiring harness, vapor barrier, door cards and door mirrors. It's a big time-consuming job that needs to be done in a specific order. Front bar. I was really surprised that Mitsubishi had made a new batch of Tommi Makinen front bars, so instead of repairing my damaged bar, I had a brand new one shipped to me by sea directly from Japan. I bought brand new air dams or front and rear bumper bar lips, and they even came pre-painted in R71 body colour red. I was lucky to get one of the last Mitsubishi Diamond badges for the front grille before prices went insane. And I bought a brand new front bar oil cooler exit duct. The air ducts in the front bar are no longer available, but I do have a complete set now, thanks to Jeff, for the right side brake duct. The brackets aren't available either, so I had my air inlet snorkel and oil cooler duct brackets replated. My front bar Rio was twisted out of shape, so it needed to be replaced. They were getting hard to find, which also means prices have increased, not to mention shipping. And to make sure it didn't rust in the future, I sprayed it with a direct-to-metal 2K semi-gloss, as the transit primer is very thin. The hood or bonnet? You tell me. I bought a second-hand hood in great condition, so I painted that too, and swapped over all the parts that go on it, and fitted a brand new heat insulator. Rear bar. I should have kept looking for a rear bar in better condition than mine, because repairing it properly without using body filler took a long time. But it was definitely a satisfying experience in the end to fix it myself. I waited for a very hot day so the sun could warm up the bar evenly, and with the help of my heat gun, I massaged the bar back into shape. I used adhesion promoter and 3M superfast plastic repair to fix the broken tabs or create new ones. I did have to use some plastic bumper bar filler, which is okay to do as it's flexible, unlike regular body filler used on steel panels. And then I installed the brand new rear lip, which also came pre-painted. The rear bar test fit looks good, so now to remove it and continue to sand and polish the rest of the car. Wet sanding and polishing. This is the first car I've painted, so by the end I was getting fairly good at laying it down smooth, but I want the paint to be very flat, especially where the Tommi Makinen decals are going on. I used some air-powered tools to wet sand the paint flat, while trying not to get pigtail swirls. Then I tried a DA polisher with various pads and compounds, but I think the air dry clear I used was too hard for it. So after I got a bit of confidence, I tried a rotary polisher, and I think that cut through better. I've still got a lot to learn, but it looks pretty good, and when I have time, I'll detail the whole car with a Bigfoot DA polisher. The over fenders. Complete sets of over fenders were getting scarce, so I grabbed a new set while they were still available. Adhesive tape sticks a lot better when the body panels are warm, so I waited for a hot day, cleaned the quarter panels and doors with isopropyl alcohol, and I used some 3M adhesion promoter on the car, and that really helps the over fender seals stick, particularly on the door in this area. The side skirts. The side skirts were pretty good, but the foam tape behind them had rotted away, so I copied what remained, as you can't buy it new anymore. I sprayed a few coats of Transtar 2-in-1 red oxide primer, and sanded that down, which removed any remaining stone chips. Then I sprayed the side skirts with body colour base coat, followed by air dry clear. I prepared the skirts and car with adhesion promoter and installed them with 3M double-sided tape and new fasteners. Interior. I didn't have much to do to the car's interior, as it was near mint inside, except for the top of the rear seat, which was a little faded. But while they're still available new, I replaced the console, shift boot and shift knob, and a few other plastic things. I replaced the clutch pedal and all the pedal pads, but I didn't fit the new steering wheel yet, as the old one still holds up. And a final touch to the interior, Rob gave me an OEM car stereo from his collection. Then I replaced all the small decals in the engine bay and all around the car. Now the car needs a good clean to remove all the polishing compound so I can fit the new drip mouldings. And then it's ready for the final transformation with the signature Tommi Makinen edition decals. I hope you enjoyed watching this restoration. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a comment. And if you'd like to help out, you can donate something with PayPal Me. Check out my other videos, and I'll see you next time.